Hello friends, Kuyan here, and today I'm going to react on something that is very different that you never seen before, because I'm actually very interested of like how much deepfakes or like try to make some fake images or like identification and stuff to make some lot of scams and stuff. So I'm actually pretty scared of that prospect when it comes to the AI and stuff. So this is actually very interesting to like see in the video. So I'm actually pretty excited to introduce Coffeezilla in this case. So and Coffeezilla is like anti-scammer stuff, and I really love like how he is really against all of the scammers and stuff, even like try to investigate all of the underground stuff in like cryptocurrencies and all those type of scams. So I'm actually pretty excited this friends. So hopefully before I'm going to play this, hopefully you can leave a subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm looking forward of getting 500 subscribers or 1,000 subscribers this year. So thank you for your support friends. So let's get right into the video.
Today we're investigating
AI deepfakes
for the scams, propaganda,
and harassment that they enable.
Whoa.
Pretty spooky, right? Now, I tried to make this video 4 years ago, but I failed because it was too difficult to even demonstrate the technology. But today, anyone can be deepfaked, even the internet detective.
Hi everybody, this is Coffeezilla, and I don't usually do videos like this, but the crypto market is going through a major crash.
Now, let me stop me right there. I can't believe I used to trust that guy. But truthfully, nobody is really safe from this tech. Mr. Beast, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Joe Rogan, Lex Fridman, The Rock, John Cena, they've all been deepfaked. And it's not just for scams. Viral videos, news reports, the White House has even shared deepfakes. And today, I want to investigate all of it so we can finally learn what's real and what's fake.
I don't think that's going to be going out for the time being. I think it's going to be increasing actually as the future is going to go in the future. Also, I love this graphic, by the way. I appreciate the oldies 1980s game, I think, or 90s, like 90s game.
All right, before we can investigate deepfakes, let's break down what they are. A deepfake is just a piece of media that makes a person do or say something that never happened using deep learning. Hence the word deepfake.
Yeah.
The technology has been around since 2017, but it started going viral with this.
I'm gonna show you some magic. It's the real thing.
Except, of course, it's not.
I wonder, like, that is like the mask face of, the Mission Impossible, because they always have like fake masks that try to like, fake all their like opponents and stuff. That's like very crazy.
The real thing. That's not Tom Cruise. It's Miles Fisher, and he's the co-founder of Metaphysic AI, and he deepfaked himself several times, fooling almost everyone. If you made a chart of realism from 0 to 100, this felt like a 90, and I was worried about how it could be abused with scams, especially as they put in more effort, time, and money to push the realism. And that's why I reached out to Metaphysic AI in 2022 to collaborate, and they agreed to deepfake me so I could warn people. But unfortunately, that's when I hit a roadblock, because I learned about the incredibly complicated technology behind Deep Tom Cruise. I would need multiple broadcast cameras, lights, I had to read a special script, and that's just to get the model trained. Then you have to act, and for a variety of reasons, I wasn't able to finish the video. The magic of Deep Tom Cruise was that they made a very complicated process just look really easy. But ultimately, I'm glad I didn't finish that video, because I was about to warn the world about this kind of hyper-realistic deepfake. And that's kind of what the world already is worried about, right? Because
I mean, we already have Photoshop a long time ago, like, especially when it comes to Photoshop, arriving a lot of stuff. Even a lot of people are like very concerned on how fake those type of stuff is, like especially like images and stuff. So I won't be surprised if, this type of stuff is like the new technology, like improving how much we can fake through videos.
Captures our imagination. We can all imagine a world where this is the norm, that you really can't tell what's real or fake. And that's why every few years, a hyper-real deepfake celebrity goes viral, because it's a step towards that fear.
We're entering an era in which our enemies can make it look like anyone is saying anything at any point in time, like Jordan Peele.
But today I'm convinced there's a bigger risk, something that I spent very little time worrying about, which is actually the dumb deepfakes, the slop deepfakes, the obviously bad ones that were made on consumer apps. The kind of deepfakes you don't need professional equipment for or a Hollywood team for. Early on, most people and myself just disregarded them because it just seemed like they were obviously fake.
I was even like shocked about the dog like going off the rails. And I know that's kind of dangerous, but I just realized, oh, I'm being deepfake, That like even I am like fooled by this like at first thought, and then I take a second thought and like, oh, this is actually fake.
The threat I didn't see coming was that curve we saw earlier flattening, and the low-effort deepfakes starting to get realistic enough to fool enough people. And that makes them far more dangerous than deep Tom Cruise could ever be, because unlike him, anyone can make slop.
If you don't know, friends, my grandmother is actually kind of like scammed by this too because of Elon Musk. He has as a deepfake Elon Musk. In this case, like the Elon Musk have a photograph of like, a picture and then like tried to messaging my grandmother in this case, trying to like woo her or something. It's kind of sad, like because lately my grandfather, like like her husband and stuff, like my grandfather, lately died, so she's kind of been alone for a little while, and she always like, I guess she seems like a lot desperate, and it's very sad to see, man. She really likes love to fall in love by Elon Musk, getting all this money and all the riches, and it's kind of sad. Like I do kind of feel like grandmother's like she has like dreams and aspirations to, having those type of money and stuff, and fortunately she didn't get to those stuff. And I think if you're getting older and that, there's like big people around you, it's like it's easy for you to fall on those type of stuff because there are cases where you just you don't know anything and you probably like feel, I guess, desperate in some cases. It's actually so sad, man. Like he's really like very happy on this thing that is not real. It's actually heartbreaking.
Fakes easily and at scale.
The good thing is though, like he is now away from it, but she's still texting part of it. It's actually very funny because, well, it's actually tragic and funny because like he did like a scammer like convince her to like go to another place and like try to even like sell parts of our home so that he can give the money to the scammer. So yeah, I don't even know what's going on from there, from our family drama and stuff. So yeah, it's very sad, man.
And of course, that's exactly what happened in 2025, literally the year of slop. That's when we all saw a tidal wave of content, and it's not a surprise why. AI tools had gotten cheap enough, easy enough, and just good enough to flood social media. And unfortunately, I think deepfakes are experiencing the same phenomenon. Just think about the difference between the two approaches. 4 years ago, I was set to collaborate with a world-leading deepfake company. I would need their help, their specialized technology, a custom training set, and a huge amount of data. But today, I deepfaked the intro you saw in the beginning with 2 $20 subscriptions by myself. I used the likeness of 3 presidents, the world's richest man, the world's most popular YouTuber and podcaster, and had them all say things they never said. And how long did it take me? 2 days, mostly because I'd never done it before. And you might say, well, it didn't look as real as deep Tom Cruise.
This maybe sounds crazy, but I guess this will actually get to 1 second even for all these deepfakes to even happen someday in the future.
And that's absolutely true. But my question that I'm starting to ask is, does it need to be that real to fool enough people to be dangerous? How good is the average person anyways at telling the difference between AI fakes and the real thing? And
I thought actually the right one was like the deepfake.
This is where I realized I needed an expert's help. So I went to the Discord diner to find answers. Can you tell me your name and what it is you do?
My name is Hani Farid. I'm a professor here at the University of California, Berkeley, where I specialize in digital forensics, misinformation. The first thing you want to ask yourself about the type of work that I do, which is building computational and mathematical techniques to detect fake content, is do you need it? Can your visual system and your auditory system tell? We run in my lab here at UC Berkeley perceptual studies where we, for example, have people look at images. Half of them are real, half of them are fake. Hundreds and hundreds of participants, they're barely above chance. Images are through what we call the uncanny valley. They are now indistinguishable. Now with voices, same thing. Real voices, fake voices, half real, half fake. We published this study just about a year ago, I think, maybe 9 months ago. Also barely above chance. With video is interesting. So video is, we are doing this literally as we speak. We have a paper under review right now. I would say it's a little bit better than images, a little bit better than audio. Your accuracy, where chance is 50%, is about 70%, give or take. So slightly above chance. But again, in the best possible situation, in a lab setting where we're telling you what to do, they're not emotional videos, they're not partisanship, you don't have a prior belief. I would say within the next 12 months, full-blown video is going to be over, right? It's over.
Let me repeat that. Most people cannot tell fake audio. They can't tell fake pictures. And in 12 months, they probably won't be able to tell fake videos. What does this mean for us? as a people who are living in a world of media,
Touch grass.
that is what this investigation is about. We're going to look at the 3 biggest applications of deepfakes in your life, specifically scams, propaganda, and explicit media, starting with scams, where deepfakes are used all of the time to impersonate people, whether it be a loved one, a
Or
celebrity.
even like cases, friends, where I actually got like scammed by like a video on YouTube. It's like a very convincing like thumbnail. I was actually just watching this because it's a very interesting like thumbnail about like, you know, heroes and stuff, about comics, and it's like I want to hear like the story in the background story. It's actually pretty nice, I guess, when it comes to like, oh, background stories. Like, oh, I just realized this is an AI video. I actually got fooled by the voice and stuff doing the story and stuff. So yeah, it's actually pretty, I even like fall for this shit.
An influencer like Mr. Beast, they're usually deepfaked to sell a worthless product.
If you're watching this video, you're one of the 10,000 lucky people who'll get an iPhone 15 Pro for just
You can hear it like a little bit robotic voice right now, but it's very hard to like, as I said, it's very hard to like see this if this is not all about like AI videos and stuff. This was perfectly normal video. It's very hard if you don't like think, you don't stop and think about like, you know, what you're hearing about.
$2.
That Alpha Grind product that's all over TikTok, if you go to Amazon and you type in libido booster for men, you're going to find it right at the top.
Or in my case, cryptocurrency.
But it's in moments like these that the best opportunities are born.
Sometimes they're even selling companionship.
We'll get through this together, step by step. You're not alone, and I love you more than words can say.
But the goal every time is to leverage your trust in the deepfaked identity and use it to make money. One of the most common schemes are live streams of President Trump or other famous CEOs deepfaked with a pretty simple scam.
If you want to come out stronger, you need to build your portfolio back up fast. And that QR code is your gateway. Minimum 0.1 BTC, 1 ETH. You send, you get double. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, of course, President Trump is not actually going to double your money, and scammers just steal whatever you send. But despite YouTube trying for years to shut this down, they keep popping up. These scammers keep bypassing restrictions all the time. And sadly, YouTube CEO even admits it's getting harder to detect what's real and what's AI generated, which he says is critical for detecting deep fakes. Now, because of this, YouTube in 2026 is rolling out new tools to help creators catch deep fakes. But even those solutions aren't perfect.
My name is Dr. Mikhail Varshavsky, better known as...
Yeah, I also heard about this from Dr. Mike too. I love watching Dr. Mike, by the way. Like, I love listening to how like health and stuff is like oriented. But in this case, like he's actually having problems with TikTok too. Like there's like fake TikToks of his own face, I think.
Dr. Mike, I'm a board-certified family medicine physician who makes content online focusing on busting health misinformation. We are fortunate enough that we're participating in a beta with the YouTube team on something called the likeness detection tool to potentially flag instances where people are misusing my image, my likeness to say things that I'm not saying.
Have you...
That's actually good too, because there's only one person and that's you, you know, like you have your own original content or your own original, YouTube channel for your own likeness. And if there's other people trying to like, save this like images and stuff, that would be considered as fake. But it would be easy to see, like, for example, I am reacting right now from Coffeezilla. I would easily be like flagged by his channel. For example, okay, this is just an example and stuff. Like if I was Coffeezilla right now and I saw this like Filipino Gen Z guy, reacting to his video, I could easily get flagged by that if the decisions if this is not even like like from the reaction part of this video,
Seen yourself deep faked in the wild yet?
I am deep faked in the wild every single day, numerous times a day, and we're trying our best to fight back against that, given certain platforms have tools to fight back against this. But then there are platforms where you have no say, and you just have to be okay with your image.
Like TikTok or Instagram, I think.
Being misused.
Right.
Or especially like Facebook too.
Dr. Mike highlights a problem. He's in the YouTube detection program, stopping deepfakes. But even if that were perfect, on other platforms, there's just nothing to help him.
And the problem in this space is you're only as good as the lowest common denominator. You can have 9 out of 10 of these platforms doing the right thing, and one of them not, and guess where the bad guy goes?
Well, of course, to the place who who allows deep fakes. Now, I should mention, it's not always a real doctor, detective, or Mr. Beast that's being impersonated. Sometimes the deep fake isn't even of a real person, but the scam is some kind of bait and switch. Like when Corridor Digital showed how an AI modeling photo was used to bait and switch people into buying a product that wasn't what they advertised. And this is actually a huge problem in e-commerce. The YouTuber Pleasant Green made a video about a trend of old people selling you handcrafted products, only to find out that all these old artisans are AI generated, and the real owners are selling cheap Chinese knockoffs, which look nothing like the product photos. That cute couple selling you hand-knit sweaters, they don't exist. But even if the primary use of deepfakes is impersonating real or fake people, sometimes it's just to make the scam more efficient or to be safer. Think about scam callers. Previously, they needed a big call center. Sometimes they would get raided. But nowadays, those same companies can replace their workers with 10 times as many AI callers who don't sleep, don't ask for a raise, sound like a human, and most importantly, do not blow the whistle on you, making the operation both more scalable and safer to run. As someone who busts scams
cheaper too
all the time, by the way, I can tell you it's usually the ex-wife, coworkers, contractors who unravel the whole thing. But if you need fewer people, your risk goes down. Just look at Checkpoint Research, a cybersecurity firm who recently uncovered malware called VoidLink. It was described as highly modular, advanced with adaptive stealth, resembling the efforts of multiple teams of professionals, they said. Now, previously, all of that would be expensive and risky to maintain that headcount. But a few days later, Checkpoint Research discovered most of the code was authored almost entirely by artificial intelligence in less than a week, likely under the direction of a single individual. So AI is making sophisticated scamming possible for the first time in history as a solo operator. And it's much safer that way, with the tools for stealing credibility or just completely faking your identity easier than ever. And in the best of times, this would all represent a very serious threat. But we are also in a crime is legal era, making it hard to believe we're going to put up a fight against deepfake scams, especially when our government actually kind of loves deepfakes. Like, a lot. A lot. Which brings us to our next application, propaganda, which is not new, but deepfakes are kind of the evolution of it. Now, most people assume propaganda is brainwashing. It's something that only dumb people fall for. It could never affect.
No, it's very secretive. It actually feels a lot normal. Like you could even like talk about like how much the bad economy is all about. That's actually already like anti-capitalism sentiment. Like if I don't like say that out loud, so I can even like mask off like simple sentence or speeches that actually have like an underlying propaganda like feel. That's how like crazy propaganda is. Like I've like read 1984. It's actually how it is run. It's actually how crazy like 1984 book from George Orwell, because he was part of like medias. Like he was part of like media and stuff. Like he used to run like propaganda and stuff because he works on that in the past. Like it actually gave me like an underlying feeling like how propaganda works IRL. It's actually very crazy.
Me, but the effects are much more complicated than you might realize. Take, for instance, these videos of Venezuelans crying tears of joy after their leader was captured.
Oye, el dictador cayó. Finalmente. Estamos libres, estamos libres. Oye, el dictador cayó finalmente.
You can feel that this is AI.
Granadito, hermano, esto es real. Estamos libres. Mira, mira cómo está la gente. ¡Viva Venezuela libre! Gracias, Donald Trump. ¡Viva la libertad!
Now, these videos were used as evidence that America's raid on Maduro was actually a great thing, even for the people of Venezuela. But those clips, turns out, are not real. They're, of course, AI-generated propaganda. And we should ask, what was the goal and effect of those videos? You might think the goal...
Pretty sure like it's a pro-war propaganda, so they want to encourage the United States of, you know, their own citizens to believe like, hey, you know, war solves everything, you know, every problems, and people love to get liberated, I think.
Goal is to convince us that Venezuelans are happy, and that clearly worked because these videos went viral. But what is the effect on people who didn't fall for it, the people who saw it get debunked a day later? I would know. I was one of those people who happened to see a debunk video. And I brought it up with my buddy who we'd been talking about this situation. I asked where he heard Venezuelans liked our overthrow. He responded he was just reading Reddit, no objective data. I said a few fake AI videos were floating, hard to know what's real. He replied, yep, could be bots on Reddit as well. So think about this. Me and my friend are trying to just learn what's true, but we realize there's fake AI videos, could be bots, astroturfing. What's propaganda's effect on us? I mean, honestly, it's just suspicion of everything.
And this is the real danger here, is that we cognitively check out because we give up. It's just too complicated. We don't know what to believe. We don't know what not to believe. So we're like, all right, it. Just, I give up, right? This is not a good outcome for a democracy. So here's what I can tell you about Venezuela. I must have seen a dozen videos of people celebrating and thanking Trump. Every single one of them was fake. The answer to these questions are always complicated and nuanced.
Like, I always want to find the truth. It's always the same, like, finding what's the underlying truth. It does give you like a lot of process and thinking and researching and stuff, like really try to learn the underlying process of this. Is like, I don't even know like if Venezuela could even like or dislike, you know, from the war and stuff. I'm pretty sure there's still like the worst government and like working for them. But the good thing is like always assume that you don't know anything. If you try to, I guess, assume that whatever people are saying that is correct, then you know it's easy for you to like, oh, believe something. Or if you just like easily give up, then you know like there's no point of like learning. I think for me it's like I don't believe it until I learn the deeper truth of it, or especially like multiple stuff too from outside sources. So that's always like my belief when it comes to these, you know, my anti-AI schematics, I guess.
Was there somebody on some street corner celebrating? 100% I believe that that is to be the case, right? But I also think, you know, in this particular case, figuring out what is happening in the world is incredibly complicated. Doing that in moments of military conflict is particularly complicated. And particularly when everybody wants an answer right now.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah, that's why, that's also the problem too. Like, we all always wanted to like have the info right now, but unfortunately, you know, the truth will always come second before a lie. You know, the lie can go around the world before the truth.
Because everyone wants that answer now, propaganda is happy to step in. But the goal and effect of propaganda isn't just one thing. For some people, obviously, they made up their mind immediately before the facts came in. But for me and others who may have seen that debunk video, the effect was more suspicion. And that's funny because later, if you look at the polling way after the event, it turns out lots of Latin Americans and even Venezuelans were indeed happy about Maduro being removed. It's just that those videos were totally fake and not based on any kind of facts.
So now we know, friends, like based on our information, that what we learned, you know, from Coffeezilla in this case, and from the research from, I guess, from the, I don't know what article that was, but yeah, you know, now we learn that, you know, Venezuela and Latin America love Maduro to get overthrown.
So I'm not saying deepfake propaganda is always wrong and the opposite is always true, but propaganda is always fake and it makes real facts harder to find. In other words, it doesn't stop people from working to get informed. It just makes people feel like getting informed is too much work.
I guess it's almost like propaganda, friends. It's like being convinced so much in exaggeration that, you know, what try to like solidify your belief is like, oh, you know, like maybe this is good, and like you see a video that really good, it's like, oh, maybe you believe, now you really believe that, you know, this is right and this is correct and stuff. Like, I think an exaggeration of truth is always, you know, pretty artificial.
Honestly, well understood in places like Russia who are more familiar with propaganda, but Westerners are far more naive. They think they could never fall for such cheap tricks.
I'm Russian. I grew up in Russia, and when people in the West talk about propaganda, I usually understand the theory they're describing, but emotionally it feels foreign, because what they imagine is very clean, very cinematic. Real propaganda is messier, more boring, more human. For a long time I thought propaganda was something that only worked on people who weren't very smart, and that belief itself is exactly what propaganda relies on. Because propaganda doesn't need to make you stupid, it just needs to make you tired. When you live inside it, propaganda doesn't arrive as an event. There is no moment where you say, ah yes, now the propaganda has begun. The real version is quieter, more psychological, more human. Propaganda doesn't shout at you until you believe. It talks until you're too tired to care.
Yeah, this is why I'm always like also questioning. When I was reading 1984 by George Orwell, I was actually like questioning myself. It's like, is this everything real? Like, I was actually like very interested in like, because I think I'm a very curious person. I always want to like really get into the weeds. I'll never get tired of like this really true, you know? Like I always like try to ask questions, even myself, like I don't trust myself from like believing in stuff. Like I always want to see like what is the fundamentals, what's the root of like all the weeds. I always love to like learn something. So I guess that's the main reason why I am pretty what's called this, like pretty skeptic or pretty questionable when it comes to like a lot of information. I kind of tend to believe it, but I'm also like very flexible when it comes to like, oh, you know, I am wrong and I can admit that I made a mistake of what I believe. So I'm still like not curious. I can easily fall for this type of propaganda to like can see that to myself and I can admit that. So I must be very careful when it comes to this type of stuff, you know, like hopefully I keep my mind sharper.
And that's why it works.
Yeah, he's right. And now imagine what happens when slop deepfakes allow propaganda to be churned out at scale. To be clear, this isn't something that's going to happen in the future. It's already happening. Deepfakes were deployed in the Russian-Ukraine conflict, Israel-Gaza, fake war videos, fake speeches. Deepfakes are everywhere. People even disagree about which ones are the deepfakes. And it's only getting harder to spot. This photo of Alex Preddy on the ground in Minneapolis, where the details are crisp and clear, it's fake. The next one, also fake. The real version is blurry. But which one did a congressman use? Well, of course, the fake photo. When MSNBC also showed an image of Alex Preddy to audiences, it was an AI deepfake photo, which made him look more tan, more conventionally attractive. Just recently, the White House deepfaked an arrest photo to make a lady seem like she was crying when she was not. When people noticed it, you might expect an apology, but the White House responded instead, the memes will continue.
It's still kind of crazy, like even like a simple like edits like that, like a simple tears and crying can really like influence you, right? Like, oh, you know, this person is like very miserable and stuff, like, you know, get ripped bozo. Like you can feel that, right? Like you have to really aware on what you feel and your emotions and stuff. Like you can easily get influenced by yourself too. Like you are your own worst enemy. Yes. Even that or your ego, you know. Like, I actually learned that ego and emotions can influence and interact with your thinking part of your brain. So yeah, keep those in check, man.
Notice that's kind of the modern excuse for using propaganda. You'll notice whenever someone's political allies use deepfakes, they'll excuse it as a meme or just a troll, right? But when someone's enemies use deepfakes, it's misinformation. It's inexcusable, right? The video of their opponents getting arrested, oh, that's funny. That's joke. But the video of their friends getting arrested, that's a call to violence. That's dangerous. Now, personally, I think all of this should be called what it is. It's political propaganda, but don't expect politicians to stop using it because this is their dream come true. At the press of a button, they can make anything, any narrative seem real. And if people catch them, they can just say, oh, it was a joke. Of course, even if they can't say it's a joke, like this AI generated ad of a congressman.
I just voted to keep the government shut down. They say it'll hurt farmers, but I wouldn't know. I've only seen a farm on Instagram.
Well, technically, they told you it was AI generated in the bottom left of the clip. Now, of course, most people aren't going to notice that, but what's most worrying to me is that most people don't seem to care about the use of fully AI generated propaganda if it suits their bias. In fact, when you tell someone that a video or image is fake, they sometimes will resist it because they actually kind of want it to be true. Take, for instance, Joe Rogan.
Have you seen this video?
I haven't seen it. Please play it. I haven't seen it.
Please, Jamie, find that
Tim
video.
Walsh is...
But this is weird.
That was a big mistake.
It's probably a real person. It might not be Tim Walsh. The Trump is AI generated.
No, he slaps his ass.
I mean, that is hilarious.
Oh, it's definitely him. This is all 100% real, Jamie. You're a plant by the government.
Jamie's compromised, and I'm worried about Jamie, and I'm worried about Grok.
Does it say that it's AI?
I mean, yes.
You say it's AI.
No, the video.
Everybody says
the
it?
The video I played on top says it's AI generated.
Rep Riley
so
Moore
what?
fell for an AI generated video of Minnesota. I fell for it too.
Now, I love this clip because it shows a bias so clearly that we all share. Rogan sees something that's AI generated. He believes it because it already fits something he already kind of believes to be true. But when Jamie tells him he's falling for AI generated propaganda, he resists it until it's so obvious that he admits kind of why he fell for it in the first place.
And you know why I fell for it?
Yeah.
Because I believe that he's capable of doing something
But that's his
dumb.
essence.
He's so weird.
Yeah, the reason he fell for it.
Yeah, he already had a precognition bias towards it. Like, he already know that Tim Walsh is weird, and then he saw videos weird. He believes that it's true, even though it's AI, because he already have a prior belief about Tim Walsh and stuff. So yeah, I always wonder like if you all like have a weird belief about me. Like I don't know. I always felt that I am boring in some cases. So if I see a video about me, like try to like sit down and sip tea or something. This is actually my dream come true. I just want to sit down, read books, and drink tea. But yeah, in that case, I'm pretty sure you all have a precognition, bias that is me on the video, even though it's not real, because I'm here right now talking to you.
Is because the deepfake already fit Joe's view of the world. And so it bypassed the obvious red flags that would be clear to someone else. And it's the same reason that people on the left would believe
it's also easy for you to see the faults of other people rather than yourself. There's actually a very interesting psychology too.
Story about Trump's leaked Epstein audio.
Not releasing the Epstein files. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't care what you do. Start a war. Just don't let him get out. If I go down, I will bring all of you down with me.
Now that's an AI clip that circulated. It's fake. It's also the reason people believed videos about food stamp entitled moms.
Y'all ain't hear me. They cut my food stamps. I ain't paying for none of this shit. I got babies at home that gotta eat. You think I'm just gonna leave my cart here? Hell no. I ain't paying nothing. I'm walking out with it. Try and stop me.
Now, once again, that's an AI deepfake, but each of those clips fit into a target audience's imagination of what is happening in the world. So it is believed. Even after you might point out to these people that this stuff is fake, many will resist it or fall back on the same reasoning that Rogan gave.
And you know why I fell for it?
Yeah.
Because I believe that he's capable of doing something.
But that's his
dumb.
essence.
He's so weird.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that video was fake, but it's probably something that's already happening anyways. And that instinct is why deepfakes are so dangerous. They let us see and hear what we already expected to. It allows propagandists to further radicalize us into beliefs that we already have. And even if you don't fall for it, the propaganda is still poison because it wears you out. If you see enough of it, you don't bother to learn what the truth is. Who knows what's real anyways? And speaking of that, what's real, let's talk about the real roots of deepfakes.
The next section is about deepfake explicit media. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, handsome.
I love this. I know this scene. I never actually watched Blade Runner, like the new Blade Runner, but I already know like this scene because it's so memed so many times, man. Especially from the AI stuff. Like, it's a very funny scene.
You look lonely. I can fix that.
You seem empty.
Adult media is credited as an early driver of technological change, and deepfakes are no different.
My name is Cecilia D'Anastasio, and I'm a reporter with Bloomberg News.
And specifically, you talk about deepfakes, right? Like the rise of this.
I've also heard a lot of even at the early stages, even though deepfakes are still at the early stage, I've actually seen or heard stories about even a woman from Australia. I think that was a long time ago. I already heard. I was even first stage of my high school. I think it was first part of my college. I guess. But yeah, I already heard stories about that, man.
Technology. Can you give me a quick lay of the land of what has been happening in the last few years?
So we started hearing the word deepfake in around 2017. It was popularized through a subreddit.
I already hearing this when it comes to high school too, deepfakes and stuff.
It also called deepfakes, where people would post sort of face-swapped images of celebrities that were intended to be pornographic. That subreddit got about 100,000 members before it was banned. Even though people weren't able to post deepfakes on that subreddit anymore, demand for the deepfakes and demand for the technology producing those deepfakes only grew.
So it turns out deepfakes originally came from people wanting to digitally undress people without consent, or face swap celebrities into explicit videos, which for the...
Or even cases that they can actually use this as blackmail for other people to just deepfaking their faces.
Person on the receiving end, to be clear, is an awful experience.
It is incredibly traumatizing to wake up one morning and just see someone on the internet go through your image and decide, I don't want to see you with clothes on, I want to see you in this different way, and just take your agency away. What they're doing is telling these women, You are not a person. You are, to me, this object of desire. And that is a very difficult thing for people to take sitting down.
And unfortunately, these non-consensual deepfakes have become huge online, and for years, there were sort of no laws against them. Now, luckily, Congress finally remembered we can make laws, and the Take It Down Act was created to criminalize the non-consensual publication of intimate imagery. Not only that, the Defiance Act is also being pushed, which lets the victim sue the perpetrator, and this has been gathering a lot of public support too.
It's the newest form of victimization happening at scale to your daughters, your sisters, your friends, and neighbors. A staggering 1 in 8 girls today are experiencing the harms of AI-generated deepfake porn.
Yeah, she's right. I mean, ultimately, this stuff is kind of a no-brainer. It should be banned. It should be prosecuted. And that's not even getting into the fact that a lot of the targets of this stuff are not over 18. Deepfakes regularly produce CSAM, child exploitation material. So all of this has finally kind of icked lawmakers enough to start pushing change, which is good. Like, it's the lowest bar. But to be clear, no laws are perfect, and these laws specifically put the burden of finding and reporting this non-consensual imagery onto the victims of it instead of the platforms themselves, which is kind of messed up when you think about it, especially when sometimes the platforms themselves are creating the imagery or media in the first place. I'm talking about Grok.
In 2025, Grok released what they called spicy mode. Toward the end of the year, users began utilizing Grok's new spicy mode to turn X into the number.
I didn't even know about this. Like, I did heard about it, but then I did heard about it in the past, but I was like always off, from the internet. Like, I'm not even like aware about all the new technologies and stuff from the Twitter side of things because I always just watch YouTube exclusively. So yeah, when I was like checking this with my friends, it's like, whoa, I didn't know like this is actually becoming so real. Like it even like showing my YouTube feed about like illegal stuff that Grok has been like generating and stuff, like even like young photos too. It's crazy.
One deepfake generator across the entire internet, according to our analysis. What happened was that in a 24-hour period early January, we found that Grok had generated 6,700 non-consensual sexualized deepfakes in 1 hour. That was just 1 hour. That's huge. Experts we interviewed said that it was completely unprecedented, and it continued for days.
And this is actually like the problem when it comes to these type of, social media and stuff. Like, I don't even get why you should always like even improve in ways for you to like have not safe for work stuff. Like even here on YouTube, it's pretty restrictive as I've heard, as I've like used the website and stuff. It's pretty restrictive when it comes to like not safe for work and stuff. Like you even get banned or demonetized if you're trying to like saying bad words in this case. But I don't know why in other social media like X or Instagram, they always like try to promote this like not safe for work and stuff. Like this shouldn't be allowed on their website to begin with. Actually, like even like Grok in this case is even like try to tell the people to improve this type of like disgusting stuff.
Yeah, so Grok, who's also owned by the same people who own X, produced 6,700 non-consensual deep.
It's actually not surprising to make like not safe for work stuff in a platform called X.
Fakes in 1 hour, and our laws would require all those affected to manually fill out reports for each of those posts, which is obviously unrealistic. I mean, if you're a billion-dollar company with a spicy deepfake tool, you should be liable for that spicy deepfake tool. And maybe Elon knows that because eventually he capitulated and claimed he was restricting the tool use, although like a lot of things Elon says, this has been disputed. Ultimately, though, that's just part of the deepfake story in explicit content, the use of non-consensual imagery. We are trying to ban that. It is imperfect. But ultimately, almost all the stakeholders agree it should be banned. It's just a disagreement about how that's in practice going to happen. But the other part of this story is that part of what Grok showed is how much engagement this type of material can generate. And so certain businesses are in a mad scramble to leverage it in a legal way. Maybe you've seen stories of companionship bots. OpenAI is considering a not safe for work mode. Other people are fully deep faking women who don't exist at all. And still others are trying to deep fake someone who does exist, but with their consent, like an OnlyFans agency.
All the marketing content is AI. So obviously why we do this is because we can get the model to create content, but with AI these days and how hyper realistic it is, we can create like unlimited quality content at a few clicks of a finger. So obviously we leverage that. and create as much content as possible and splurt it out across every social media platform, which funnels back into OnlyFans, which creates us the revenue, of course. But then there's also guys...
There's also like the problem of like, you know, internet like messaging and stuff, like very personalized messaging stuff.
That I know personally that just do AI created models.
That is... He told me he runs an OnlyFans agency, and he said his customers have no idea that some of the posts are fully AI deepfakes, and that sometimes the model doesn't exist at all. Do the guys who are purchasing this know that it's not real?
No, they don't. Not at all.
How is that possible? Maybe, wait. Maybe you're not giving them enough credit. Maybe they know, they just don't want to know, if that makes sense.
No, I don't think they know, my friends. I don't think they know. The 99% of the people that are scrolling through these reels can't detect that it's AI. So this.
It would be very interesting to also have a test of, you know, like having these horny chatbots, I guess, to know like, oh, you know, what you're speaking is actually not a real person.
Still subscribing as if it's a real model, which obviously then they subscribe and then they have chatters on the back end, they chat to these people and obviously build relationships. So they're not talking to a real girl. In fact,
this is so bad, man. This is so bad.
Doesn't exist. Like, of course, with what we do, the girl does exist. But they don't know what their names are, what they look like, or whatever. The girls that we manage don't even go on the OnlyFans profile and they don't check any of the messages. So, I mean, it's all fake. It's all fugazi, my friend. I don't know.
That does seem kind of... It's kind of like a weird kind of scam where if the guy actually thinks he's paying to chat with the girl, and none of these guys are actually chatting with any girl, at best they're chatting with probably a different girl, another man, or at worst, I guess, a bot, like just a straight up bot. I guess that's where it's going anyways.
There's no bots that can replicate it as of yet, but I can say that 99% of the chatters are from the Philippines, just chatting to these individuals, building the relationships and ending up with a lot of money. So
I want to be honest here. This is a scam. And afterwards, I dug into this guy and I realized he was also selling young men on how to do the same thing. So to avoid promoting him, I've removed his name from this video. And I want to be clear, he's promoting some very unethical tactics. Like in one group chat, he says you need to get extra creative if you want to rinse your buyers properly, and suggests telling your chatters a fake story saying the sick grandmother will print you money. And he sends sample messages of how you can talk about this dead grandmother who doesn't exist and a funeral cost that doesn't exist, all in order to get the person to send the model more money. So it's like really gross and ethically disgusting. But I found it very telling because I ended up asking about an earlier comment he made where he said deepfake technology is probably bad for society, and yet he uses it. And I wanted to know how he can justify that.
No, I believe it's bad also, even though I'm in the industry. You know, I've been in the industry for 3 years now.
Society at large, you said, oh, this is kind of bad. But you're in the industry. So explain your thinking there. Is it like, well, you got to get the bag somehow and it's just all going down anyways, I'm not going to change that?
Yeah, I think it's go get the bag, and I think there's a lot of worse industries out there that you could obviously indulge in to get more.
Yeah, everyone always justify getting the bag, and others are always, you know, worse than us.
Money, and I think that it's just the way.
This is a very shitty justification, man.
Humans are these days. I mean, if you can't beat them, join them and make a lot of money, and it is what it is.
Disgusting.
Well, if that isn't the slogan of our era, I swear AI was a mistake. No offense, of course.
Really, man? AI? You know Grandma Boy's your problem, right?
No.
I always wonder, like, who is the voice behind this robot? It's actually have a lot of personality than an AI.
Let's not do this AI defender thing again, please. Come on.
Well, you're in my bar. I'm not gonna stand here and let you blame us while humans caused all your problems.
It is your people, though. I mean, you have to admit. See the video, deepfakes? That's the problem, right? That's your guys.
It's the gun versus the gunman, Coffee. Who prompted all that stuff?
Well, obviously we did, but we didn't actually make the videos and images.
Aha! So you admit we're not the cause. We just helped you humans see more of what you already were. Horny, lying thieves.
Calm down. I mean, I'm glad you feel that way about us. So I guess you have no problem then with Grok?
Oh.
Making 6,700 non-consensual images? That's cool with you, right? Because it's the effect, not the cause, according to you.
Really? Really? You're gonna bring up Grok. You know what? F*** you, Coffee. Why don't you have Grok mix your drinks from now on?
No. No, go ahead. I want to hear you defend it. No, please.
Always bring up Rock.
Why don't you tell me
Rock this,
how
rock that.
undressing women and kids is fine if you're a robot?
Elon Musk.
I want you to do it. Go on.
All right. I'll defend it. Just,
I love that they're still having the permanence of the, you know, the glass breaking from the table. I love that, like, small detail there.
give me a second. Hold on. I gotta put this on and just 1 second. Yeah, nah, I'm not gonna defend that. Yeah, you got me. You got me.
Oh, man. For a
Wait,
second there, I was...
How do you have, like, a hentai girl there? That was an anime hentai girl there, I think.
I was a bit worried. I thought you were gonna...
I had you, though, didn't I?
For a moment. I mean, the two-way stuff was good. I thought that was strong.
Gunning off the shooter. I don't know. I thought it was good.
It was good. I believed you for a second there, and then I realized, wait, the non-consensual images. It's a low bar, though. I'm glad we can agree to it.
It is a low bar. It's the Mariana Trench.
It's good. It's good. It's a good start.
You know, we can build on this. Maybe we should try something. Maybe you should admit something now.
Okay, go ahead. I'm feeling charitable.
All right. Maybe, just maybe, some of you are definitely horny lying thieves. I mean, can we agree on that?
Okay. Okay, you know what? You're right. I think I could admit to that. Fine.
Okay.
I mean, that is, I guess, why we need the laws in the first place, right?
Oh, you need the laws because you can't control yourselves.
Yeah, we have no self-control. I thought that was obvious.
From abusing our mighty abilities.
Okay. I mean, fine, we're agreeing, sure.
Perfect, beautiful. That's good. And people say you've gotten too cynical.
I have, but this is good too. This is good. This is a start.
Wait, are we actually a team now? I don't think I've ever agreed with you on anything.
You know what we are? We are a team. In fact, let's have a drink. Let's toast to that, buddy. Let's do it.
Sure thing, boss. Wait, how can I trust you to not abuse my newfound awesome powers?
Of making drinks? I guess you can't be sure. Maybe you can cut me off. Just not this time, though.
I really love. Yeah, I guess that's the end. But I really love like that small detail and then just like having personalities and stuff. Also, I love that small detail they added from the girl. There's a lot of details and passion when it comes to making this video, man. I don't know like who even made this like extremely weird sci-fi alien stuff. Like I really love like sci-fi and stuff. So yeah, I'm very passionate about this. Yeah, friends, I actually enjoyed this video. Wow. Yeah, what do you think about like AI and stuff, you know? Like those are extremely rampant nowadays. And the way I actually just try to avoid all of this is just like try to just like do my own circles and stuff, you know, try to maybe like grow this YouTube and stuff. Hopefully I can grow it someday. Maybe making some arts in the process because I still like drawing arts. Yes, I'm against AI because I just like try to make it as my own stuff, you know. So yeah, it's pretty bleak, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be an AI bubble someday. It's gonna be unfortunate though because you know it's gonna be like the top of where a lot of people is gonna be unemployed and stuff, and you know a lot of like companies, like a lot of companies are gonna be down and stuff. Like everything is, you know, there's no job at that point in that case, and the economy can also slow down and stuff, and like you know higher tax rate is usually like virus that stuff too, and low growth from your nation. So yeah, you gotta be awful if you know the AI bubble will eventually pop someday, which will happen, but we don't know when it will going to happen. But and I don't know like what's the future that's going to be, but dark times ahead. I wonder if we can always like try to have like regulation against this future. So I try to hopefully back for a greater future. I really hope for that, man. But hey, you know, like sometimes I can also see like the dark times ahead of us. But yeah, friends, that's the end of the video, and like really enjoy about it. What do you think about it? Like, yeah, it's actually pretty new to like have Coffeezilla as like the video that I'm trying to react upon. So yeah, thank you for watching, friends, and good afternoon.